Hey everyone, this is my review of Pure Genius, Season 1, Episode 4, called Not Your Grandma's Robotic Surgery. And basically what this episode is about is that when James's old favorite elementary school teacher is diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer, James decides to go about doing a sort of like never really done before, highly risky robotic surgery on her, where it would basically get rid of all the doctors and just use robots to do the surgery so it could be done quicker and more efficient, is the thought. But when this is brought up, Dr. Wallace sort of disagrees with it. And then the other sort of story plot is that there is a blind veteran who was badly wounded in combat, causing him to be blind. And he goes and refuses Zoe's highly technological, sort of brand new idea to possibly restore his vision. And this was a really interesting episode that had some moments that I really liked and some moments I didn't really care for. And the whole main thing with James not wanting to list everyone else and wanting to do his own thing and really just focusing on the one patient of his elementary school teacher, that I didn't really care for. And with that, I found it really annoying whenever he'd go to someone to go and get their sort of take on what they would do and what they should do moving forward and stuff. But as soon as what they brought up wasn't what he wanted to hear, he would just ignore them and get angry at them and stuff like that, and that was really kind of annoying. And then the actual robotic systems that he built to do all the surgeries was pretty cool. But when it was brought up, I thought it'd be a thing where it was robots and doctors working together to try and get through the surgeries more efficiently and effectively, and not just all solidarily robots. But that, I guess, is not what they initially thought, but it is kind of what they initially ended up doing, where it was doctors and robots working together. But like I said, that was not the initial plan for it. And then I did kind of like all the moments with Walter working through and trying to understand his new environment that he's in and stuff, and trying to accept it, but also still trying to stick to his sort of roots of how he understands stuff works, because he knows that stuff has worked for years and it's worked effectively and right almost all the time. So trying to accept all these new ways that aren't really tested out and have all this high risk, he's still not really for it, but he's learning to kind of understand that. And that I really enjoyed in this episode, seeing Walter's sort of growth as a character. I found that kind of cool. And then I did really, really love the ending sort of moment when Walter did finally get a desk and he found a place to sort of call his own in this crazy hospital. I thought that was a really sweet and nice moment that I just really enjoyed. And then all the moments with Zoe and the blind veteran, I thought were the far better moments in this episode. That I enjoyed those moments so much more. And I wish there was a bit more of those moments, and then that might have been the more broader main story in this episode, but it kind of wasn't. It was the secondary story. And when the veteran, who I can't remember his name right now, did eventually come out and explain himself and give the reasons as to why he doesn't want to go through the surgery and doesn't take his pain medication and all this stuff, and he wants to suffer through all his guilt. The reasons why he wants to do that, I thought was a really interesting and such a sad story. And the way that Zoe eventually managed to take that story and turn it around to get the guy to finally agree to doing the surgery, I thought was such a clever idea. And just the ending for this veteran was so sweet and so perfect of a sort of moment for him, and I just enjoyed it so much. And I do have to say that overall this episode was fairly entertaining, but there was just all these sort of moments that I just really didn't care for. And I definitely have to say that so far out of these 4 episodes, this one is definitely not one of my favorites. So yeah, that's my review of Pure Genius, Season 1, Episode 4, called Not Your Grandmother's Robotic Surgery. So yeah, bye!